in there for an FCS opponent. And look, they make a difference, right? They make a difference. The energy that they create for our players and certainly the difficulty for the opponent. Special, man. We talked to the players throughout the week about it's sacred to compete in the swamp. We only get so many opportunities. So independent of the opponent, it's just special experience, right, for our guys. So they work hard the entire year for these opportunities, and I thought we had the right mindset early, both sides of the ball, and for the most part did what we should do, truth be known. And ultimately, as a coach, there to the, we had a miscue early with the snap, and then we fumbled the ball late. Outside of that, pretty clean day for the most part. So we did some things that were significant statistically, but it really wasn't about that. I told the players in the locker room just now, I appreciate the response that we saw from the players after last week, which was obviously disappointing, but I think the leadership on the team, we said it was going to be about the mindset, the effort, the attitude, and I think we had the right things early. So we'll enjoy tonight. When we wake up tomorrow, we'll get ready for the big one next week. What do we got here?
Billy, you touched on some of the positives, but just getting a win, maybe after a 4-game losing streak, getting back in the swamp and getting back to maybe the winning ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's something to be said for that, Mark. I agree. I mean, just relative to the emotion that comes with it, right? And again, I want to compliment the players, right? I think that they handled that well. One of the things about college football, and I would say the University of Florida in particular, is it gets noisy sometimes, right? I mean, good and bad, right? I mean, if it's bad, then it gets loud, and if it's good, it gets loud. I think the ability to stay consistent in your approach and evaluate things objectively is important, not only for myself and our staff, but I think also for the players. And I think we've got some maturity in that locker room that help do that. And look, there's challenges ahead here, but I do think that what you're saying is true. Let me say one thing I think that's really important for games like this. Some of the guys that we observe work hard every week that don't get to play most weeks. We got a lot of guys that do a lot behind the scenes that make our team better, and to see some of those guys have an opportunity to go between the lines and play, I think that's really special. And it not only means something to those individual players and for us as a staff, it's one of the more gratifying things about coaching, but to see veteran players excited for those individuals, I think was a positive. So,
and then 327 yards rushing, confidence, building confidence, and maybe even playing to your identity? How big were those?
Yeah, no, I think just efficiency. It's always fun when the plays work, right? It's always a lot more fun when the plays work. So, but I think we had a hat for a hat. I think that we made the right decisions at quarterback, and ultimately the staff did a good job putting the plan together, and we went and executed that plan for the most part in all parts of our team. And that's what you want when you play an opponent like this. And certainly, as a coach, you'd like to say they're all the same, but we know that's not true. There's a human nature element for them to show up and compete was a positive.
Kevin, what kind of tone do you think the first drive set? And Montreal in particular, getting him involved, obviously, because he wasn't quite as involved in the Utah game.
Yeah, no, I think just staying on schedule, creating favorable down and distances. I think third down was manageable for the most part all night. And really the 1/3 long that we did have, we converted. And that's where you're essentially playing with odds on your side, right? And ultimately that's where you want to live as a play caller. And if you're a defensive play caller, you want to live on the other end of the spectrum. We certainly did that tonight. I think that's the best defensive performance in how many years?
86 games.
86 games or something like that. So. And look, every time I turn around out there, I see a freshman running around. So defense is ready to play, and I think we'll continue to get better. We got a lot of young players out there playing, and I think those guys will get a little bit better, not only at game day, but their routine during the week I think will be beneficial.
How important was it after last week to play a very clean game? I mean, penalties at a minimum, mental mistakes at a minimum.
Yeah, no, I think it was a point of emphasis. Reality is, as a coach and really as a competitor, in each individual player that plays in the game, you can live with some things. A guy beats you, you run into a really good player, maybe he wins a matchup, but ultimately the things that have nothing to do with the opponent are the ones that keep you up at night. And certainly we had too many of those last week. So to come back and play cleaner, I think was a positive. But we all understand we have to continue to improve, to evolve, and their bigger challenges are coming.
Just on the defense, how nice was it to be able to see a pass rush be a little bit more consistent tonight, and also the run-stopping ability? I think you guys held them to under 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, I do think our ability to rush the passer in particular, I think we can put a pretty good sub-package out there that can go get the quarterback. It's one of the areas of emphasis in recruiting was to go get guys that can finish on the quarterback. And I think we struggled last year on third down for a number of reasons, and I think we're off to a pretty decent start there so far this year. But, yeah, I think you're spot on.
Congrats on the victory tonight. What things are still a concern to you as you now head towards Tennessee here, hosting them?
Yeah, I think ultimately for us as a staff, we have young players that need to continue to develop. A lot of guys have gotten significant experience the first 2 weeks, and obviously this will be a huge game, and that swamp will be a lot different next week, and it'll be a bigger stage. So I think ultimately getting our players accustomed to the routine and then challenging each individual player and even members of the staff that are new Sunday to Saturday, because that's where the game's won, right? Ultimately, as a competitor, if you can prepare, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and you're well prepared when you show up to the park, you've got a chance to play with confidence. And I think our young players need to continue to learn that. Edgar? Nice shirt, by the way, Edgar.
Graham, I'll explain it to you one day. Graham, you talked about his efficiency. That was one of the things you liked. 14 to 17, you don't get much more efficient. What's he just kind of bringing into the offense, settling it down? I know he was more run reliant tonight, but he kind of, I think the 3rd and 10 play to Ricky, that one, the 12-yarder, that was kind of a big play.
Yeah, no, I think really 2 drops too, I would say, right? I think so. He's close to being really clean. The guy's really bright. The guy's a really good communicator. He's one of the hardest working players I've ever been around in my career. I think his experience brings a steadiness. He has an awareness. It's not too big for him because he's played in big games and big stages. He's made mistakes, in his past, and I think he's taken ownership of that. But he's just in a good place. He showed some toughness last week. I think he's earned the respect of the players with how much he's improved. This guy has grown a lot as a player since the first day he got here, right? So he's what you would want your quarterback to be, right? He is the standard bearer. He is the example at about anything that you want to talk about. If you said who sets the best example, he would be on the list. So I think what you see out there is a product of a lot of hard work. And I really believe if we can continue to grow up around him and play better around him, he's got a chance to be a really good player for us.
After last season, two games, I think fewer than 400 yards against the defense. I know there's circumstances to that, but still,
yeah.
given last year and then that stat, what's that say?
Well, I think we added good players in the portal. We added good players that are freshmen that are contributing. At all levels of the defense. There's a lot of new players out there running around. And I do think that we have veteran players that are doing a good job leading and setting an example. And I have to compliment the staff. Austin is new, and obviously he's brought a lot of things to the table. But I can't say enough about the growth in year 2 from Mike Peterson, Jay Bateman, Sean Spencer, and Corey Raymond. So not only the on-field guys, but we have a lot of off-field guys that are in year 2 as well. So it's year 2 in the system, for players and also for that staff. And then obviously Austin's done a good job of connecting with players, connecting with the staff, putting his spin on things. And look, I mean, there's a lot of young cats running around out there. This is a good thing for the Gators in the future.
Coach, you mentioned the big stage next week and also how many young players. How do you kind of get them ready to maybe not let them get too high or too low with the excitement they'll have with the Tennessee game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a process. You know, it's Sunday. You know, what do we do on Sunday? What do you do on Sunday? Let's do the best we can do today. You know, I think we try to map out Sunday to Saturday for the players, and that was the point of emphasis inside the locker room there with the players. Look, when we wake up tomorrow, let's go execute your plan each day, and that's every part of the organization. It's not just players. And ultimately, to get to a place where you can go play with confidence, I think you got to prepare a certain way. And ultimately, that's what I think we're learning how to do. Hopefully, we'll have our best week this week.
And just wanted to get your assessment on your two backup quarterbacks, Max and Micah, coming in, and what do you think of them, and how important is it just to get them reps, knowing that they could be a play away from having to go in?
Yeah, no, I think these games are beneficial in that regard. Max did some good things there in the first possession he had. Each guy probably made a mistake or two, but for the most part, I thought Max did some really good things in that possession when we moved the ball down there and scored. He's had a couple naked throws for completions. It's definitely beneficial. And, you know, ultimately those guys take 1,000,000 reps in practice. I mean, that's a small sample size compared to what we see each week. There's no doubt we need those guys to continue to develop.
How would you assess your young pieces in the secondary, specifically at Star with Sharif Denson and Bryce Thornton, given the change y'all had there this week?
Yeah, no, I think those guys have continued to grow and improve, right? And they've earned more of a role in the team. It's a talented rookie group of DBs. You know, when you start thinking about Jordan Castell and Jakeem and Dede and Sharif, Bryce, you know, you saw him a little bit more today. Can't compliment that group enough. You know, not only talented, but I think they all have character and they all go about their business the right way.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
All right, guys, joined by Jaden Hill. Got Nick in the back we'll start with.
It had been a while since you guys had a winning locker room. What was it like just to get back in the locker room and be with your teammates after a win?
You know, any win is, you know, it's just a blessing, you know, to go out and just, you know, dominate and just let all the work that we put in show, you know. So anytime it's a win, it's great vibes, you know, in the locker room, and it's good to have that feeling, you know, back.
What was it like getting back into the swamp today with a pretty good crowd?
Oh yeah, you know, the swamp, the vibes are immaculate, you know. You know, it's just a great opportunity to just go out and, you know, dominate. And I feel like we took advantage of it, you know. This week it's been a big emphasis on just, you know, executing and dominating. And we did a pretty good job, but, you know, we can't be satisfied with that. We got to, you know, bounce back next week and come even harder. So.
How important was it for you guys to put such a clean performance on tape tonight against this team?
That's just been our challenge, you know, this whole week, you know, with last week, with that loss, just this week, you know, just attacking it and just being consistent, you know, as a defense. We feel like we have a chance to be pretty good on, you know, for the defensive side, but as a team as well. But defensively speaking, I feel like just, you know, executing and just practicing hard every day and just putting it on tape, really.
You're 2 games into your transition there at Star, and you had the pass breakup tonight out of the slot. How do you feel like that's going for you personally?
Pretty good. You know, I like Star a lot. I embrace the role, and I'm just, you know, ready to make any play that comes my way. Really.
You had a lot of freshman defensive backs come in throughout the game, especially at your position. What have you seen from those guys 2 games in, especially the what they were able to put on the field tonight.
Oh yeah. I can applaud them boys more for the work they put in, you know, throughout the week. Them boys prepare like veterans, you know, and I feel like it pays off. It's gonna pay off in the long run. They're gonna be great players for us. Yeah.
You're making a lot of noise with this, sorry. Yeah, the defense, I was saying to Billy, he's given up, I think, fewer than 400 yards in 2 games after last year. I know there's circumstances, and you guys maybe had some advantages, but given last year and then some of the struggles on defense, what's that feel like, just being able to kind of keep teams in check?
Yeah, so me and Princey was actually talking about that today on the sideline, and it's just like, you know, seeing improvement is like the best when it comes to football. You know, we practice together every day, and just seeing the improvement, that's what it's all about, you know. So I feel like we just got to keep improving, keep getting better, you know. And, yeah.
How much were you pulling for the shutout at the end of the game, though? I mean, you guys were pretty close. Would have been the first shutout since you know, Vanderbilt, and what does it say to put together, you know, pretty strong 4 quarters, including your backups, you know, limiting them to as few yards as you did?
Wait, repeat. Can you rephrase it a little bit?
Yeah, just curious about how much you were rooting for the shutout at the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
And also just, you know, in terms of the young guys coming in the 3rd and the 4th quarter and there being no drop off.
Oh yeah. On the sideline every time, like when the younger guys are going in, I'm just motivating them, making sure they you know, on top of their game and handling business. But for the shutout, you know, we as a defense, we were like, that's what we was harping on the whole week, you know, just shutting these guys out. And I mean, obviously we didn't get it done, but we played pretty well defensively, you know, I feel like, personally.
How cool was it to get a safety there and there at the end, you know?
Oh yeah, that was lit. Yeah, I haven't seen a safety. When was the last time we had a safety? I don't know, but it was really cool to see. You know, a younger guy, Jamar, getting that and just, you know, celebrating. It's real cool to see.
How jacked up does that make the defense when you get you know, that's probably the hardest way to score.
Oh yeah. That's like, you know, it's not really too many plays that compare to the safety because it's like it's not as what's the word for it? It's not as frequent. You know, it don't happen as often, but. It was really cool to see, though. Yeah, I was really happy for him. We was happy for him as a defense, so yeah, hope to get more. You know.
We'll go Jacob real quick, and then after Jacob, your question, we'll have Ricky to the podium, and we'll have Jaden back there.
Yeah, just the pass rush that the defense was able to generate tonight. How much does that help you guys in the secondary, and how important was that to kind of get going, especially before Tennessee next week?
Oh yeah, the pass rush is like you know, top when it comes to defensive backs. You know, you disrupt the pass, the pass of the quarterback. You know, it helps us out in the back end, and I feel like this game we took advantage of it, and we just got to keep getting better. You know, and just disrupting timing. You know, that's what it's all about. I really feel like on defense, you know, just disrupting timing and all that. So we just got to keep getting better at it. And as a DB, yeah, we love the pass rush. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
One more, and then Jacob will be back.
How big was Scooby's hit early in the game? What did that do for the defense?
That lit us up. I remember seeing it. I was kind of like on the other side, and I was just yelling, ah! But that was really cool to see Scoob do that, you know, all the work he puts in, and just to see it pay off and, you know, see him celebrate with the guys.
And you guys were close to getting a few takeaways in that back end of that defense. Is that kind of the next step for you guys?
Yeah. That's always been like the main goal, but you know, we just gotta keep getting better and hopefully come up with those balls that we had our hands on as a defense. So.
Appreciate Jaden. We'll have Jaden in the back, guys, back corner. Some more questions, Jaden Hill.
Hello, how we doing? Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, joined by Ricky Pearsall.
No, they didn't sing to me. They didn't sing to me. I'm actually 23. I'm old. I'm old. I'm getting up there. I appreciate you. David. Yeah, I feel. Just kidding.
You're old. Are you looking out in the crowd here?
Well, I'm over for Rob at right now, so we'll just go with that.
So you and Graham, how are you just feeling, the confidence level you're feeling with him and just you, and And how big was that 50-yarder for you?
Yeah, I think it was really big for us. I think from the confidence standpoint, I think it's through the roof always. You know, I have full trust in him. He has full trust in me. But it's always good when we hit on a big play like that.
So was McNeese playing you guys a certain way that was not allowing you guys to really attack much, and then the run game just kind of dominated?
Yeah, they kind of came out in like a 3-high look, so we just knew we were going to get the run game going. And that's kind of our plan initially anyway, was just getting started with the run game. But from the passing standpoint, yeah, they were playing 3-high, so it was kind of hard to get, some passes in there. But when we got into 12 personnel sets, it opened it up a little bit more for us.
Ricky, right here.
Oh.
The confidence level going from Utah with such a tough loss to just running amok all over McNeese State. How important was that to build that confidence up, and how do you take that into the home game next Saturday night against Tennessee?
For sure. I think our confidence level, is always good. I think last against Utah, we just kind of beat ourselves. So I didn't think it really had anything to do with the talent of the guys. I think it was more about executing and eliminating penalties. And obviously, I think we did a better job of that tonight. And I think that's going to give us a good amount of momentum going into the next week. We just got to prepare for Tennessee.
Ricky, can you just talk about I know you mentioned that, establishing the run game was a key. Can you talk about what it just did for the whole offense, and specifically Montrell Johnson, saw his role increase significantly tonight? Just talk about his performance in the run game as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we got guys like 2 and 7, who are extremely good and gifted athletes. So I think just getting the ball in their hands early, you can't go wrong with that. So just getting the running game going early, I think helps the passing game.
I know you said that there was an emphasis on establishing the run today, but just from a play calling perspective, how much more confident are you guys getting now that, game 2, you're used to Graham Mertz being in there? Just how confident are you guys from not to say hurry up standpoint, but getting the play calling and running it effectively?
Mm-hmm. I think we're a lot more confident. When you just go out there and you execute plays better, I think that just boosts your confidence automatically. But yeah.
And then just to see him, just his poise, learning from all the years that he's had under him, just his confidence. I mean, not to use a cliche here, but just how contagious is that for an offense? How much confidence does that give you guys as well?
I think it's very contagious. Personally, for myself, when maybe I'm not feeling his hype for a game or something, I hear Graham in the background yelling for all the guys, and that just motivates me, motivates all the other guys too as well. Graham's a really experienced guy. Everybody in the room respects him for that, and I think all the guys pull for him. So,
Ricky, I hate to bring up a bad memory, but the pick last week, what happened on that play from your perspective? And what happened on the sideline afterwards between you two, and how did you guys kind of work that out?
Yeah. I'd like to take responsibility in that, just because it's me. But it was just timing purposes that we were off a little bit. They sent pressure, and I had an option route, and I needed to hurry up my route. And, we just weren't on the same page during that rep. And, I turned in, and he had the ball already out. So it just got up on me, and I just had reflexes and put my hands up, and that's where the tip happened. And then from there, I was like, oh, okay, now I got to play defense, try to get the ball down. Obviously can't play defense now, but I was kidding.
And then how did it feel to be able to build on, obviously, some of the stuff you guys did last week and have the 50-yard touchdown tonight? And what did you see on that play?
Yeah, I think improvement, throughout the week is the most important thing with the guys, continuing to build the relationships, continue to build the trust, and get better execution through the plays. Just repetition, just perfecting it in practice. That's it.
How much emphasis was put on eliminating the mental mistakes this week, and how satisfying is it that it seemed that you had very, very few?
Oh, yeah, we definitely harped on that throughout the week. I think that was probably the main key point that we were going through as a team is, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. You're not going to be able to beat these good teams if you just continue to shoot yourself in the foot, get penalties, have certain mistakes that, are just going to set us back. So I think, just emphasizing that throughout the week. Oh, yeah, I'd like to say it does. I mean, obviously, I like when I'm out there and I have a little bit of space and a little bit of freedom, to make a move. I look forward to continue to be having that.
Yeah, Eugene Wilson got more of a chance today, obviously with Khalil being out. What were your thoughts about him taking kind of advantage of his opportunity tonight and what he was able to do?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a very talented player. He's very unique. You know, he's a very twitchy guy. So I think he's one of those guys where you just got to get the balls in his hands in space. So I think, you know, we were going out there and trying to do that, you know, get him going. Because, you know, the young guys, it's like, oh, you know, they get in the swamp and it's new to them, you know. But I don't think the lights are too big for that kid. I think, you know, he's going to be a big player for us, big impact guy. So I'm excited for him.
Appreciate it, Ricky.
Thank you, guys. God bless you.